YouTube, what's up? I'm back with another video, and today somebody got some explaining to do as to why my client's hair is so long. He needs a cut, so we're gonna hook him up. Look, he can't go to school like that. Come on, man. I should have got a video when it was dry, but here we go. We're gonna start off with a parting right from the recession of the head back to the crown, kind of just letting the hair that wants to fall down, and the hair that wants to stay up, we'll push it upwards. We want to keep that length around the parietal ridge. You can see my client's head in the back is naturally like flat. It naturally has a very flat shape in the back. So we're gonna try our best to create some squareness without it looking too crazy. So we're just doing box graduation around the parietal ridge, all the way around. And the parietal ridge is just like the technical term for like where the hair, where the head curves into the top. You know, so right, you have the side of your head, which is pretty flat for most people, and then it starts to curve. And right where it curves is the parietal ridge. So we're just continuing that block graduation all the way around. With my fingers are tight against his head because I want to be able to blend directly into this work with my clipper. So now we're taking a vertical parting right down the middle of his head and connecting that long hair that was on top to the block graduation that we did. And we're gonna follow that guideline all the way to the front of his head. And I'm just making sure that this one is even, because this is gonna determine the shape for how the cut looks from the side. So I want it to be even. I want it to be clean. Here we go. We took another section and we're just following that guideline all the way to the front. There's also other videos on this channel about hair cutting tutorials with scissor work on top, and I try to follow the same system each time, so that way it's easy for you guys to follow along, and you'll be able to kind of mimic those steps when you do the haircut, or when you do your haircut, or cutting your clients and stuff like that. You're starting to build clientele. So again, we're just taking partings and we're meeting them to the previous one and matching them up. Match them up and cut. And I want the front to be the longest point. So you see I'm stretching that front right where the fringe area is. See, I'm stretching it all the way up so that it reaches. I want the front to be the longest point. I don't want to dip down because it'll lose the ability to be, kind of styled with a lot of volume and everything like that. It's going to kill the shape. We want it to be triangular from the side, going shorter to longer as you get to the front. And now we took a parting right from the recession, which is the corner where the hairline meets, and to the very top of his head, not to the back of his head where the crown is, but to the top where the apex is. And we bring all that hair down and cut it at the line we initially made with our block graduation, because that's going to be the longest. It's going to meet the longest length on the side, basically. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. I'll be honest with you, his hair is kind of funny, and like I said, because of his head shape, we have to kind of create a little bit of squareness and build weight in the back. So I was kind of nervous with this cut, like I really was, because I was scared it wasn't gonna come out right. But what I didn't do was deviate from the system. I stayed doing the same system that I always do. I stuck with it, and it paid off in the long run. You guys are gonna see at the end. See that? And now we're just bringing everything up square, making sure that it's even. See? Making sure that we pull all that hair in the fringe back so that we're not killing the shape. And right here, I'm just trimming like the very end. You can see I'm barely touching like anything. Because if you don't, a lot of times this can be too long, and you want the fringe to kind of connect all the way around. See how it now connects into that block graduation? Because I did that, and boom, push everything back. And right here, I'm just gonna blow dry with my Dyson blow dryer. This was actually like really not necessarily the way you're supposed to blow dry. Like technically, you know, the way the school would teach you, you use a brush and everything like that. But I think when you're in the shop, one, you want to move a little faster, and to me this is faster. But also I like the sort of texture that blow drying with your fingers gets. You know, especially since a lot of clients aren't going to be able, it's kind of hard to take a brush and style your own hair and blow dry your own hair. But what a client can do is exactly what I'm doing right now. Take the blow dryer and just blast the hair and use your fingers to kind of get it into the shape that you want it to be. So now I'm just taking some product. I believe this is a paste. Yeah, I believe this is a paste that I have. And I'm just working it through the hair. See, I started from the back and worked my way to the front. And now we're going to be able to just cut all that length off and blend right into it with our number 3. You see that? See how that number 3 is blending right into it? And you can sort of even see the perimeter that we made with the block graduation. You can even see where it meets in the back. And he's gonna have a number 3 on the side with a taper on in the sides and back. So we're gonna leave it dark. But you see how that number 3 is just blending right in? And here I'm going to start my first guideline for the taper with my Babyliss Gold FXs. I think it's time to get a new pair of these. I'm kind of getting tired of these. New trimmer alert. I'm going to set the guideline in. And what you don't want to do is take a long time when it comes to this. Like your guidelines, it should be quick. Just taking them out. Put the line in and take it out. I've got these trimmers adjusted, probably the least sharp of all my trimmers. Like they could still line somebody up, but they're not that close, because this is the one that I use to put in the bald line when I do bald fades or bald tapers like this. So I want to be able to take it out with my clipper. So and right here we have the blade open, no guard with the blade all the way open. And I'm working from closed all the way to open. Every step, every about quarter inch that I go up, I open the lever about a quarter of the way. And right here we got the one guard all the way open. And now it's closed. 16th guard about halfway. It's probably closed up. I probably close it up a little bit. And then the number two open to blend into that 3 that we originally did. But it's the same system every time. If you follow any of my videos, you'll see that it's the same system that I use to fade. I don't really switch it up. I might do it in a different order, but I think if you know, like, down to, I guess, down to the measurements of what you're fading to, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in. And what I like to do is work up the steps and then work down the steps. So I'll work from bald all the way up to that 2 open, and then I'll work back down to the blade, the clipper closed, you know? I'm just trying to detail and get it together. And we're gonna do the same steps over here on this side. So I'm gonna be quiet and let's see if you can follow along. All right, here we are on the other side. Now we got the blade open. What's gonna be the next step after the blade open? The next panel. It's gonna be the number 1 open right here. And then we close it up, lighten it up a little even more. Honestly, I think on this side I started a little bit lower than I should have. I started the taper a little bit lower than I should have, so I had to like do a little extra work to kind of make it neater, make it more even with the taper on the other side. And here we're using the Andis GTX, I guess the skeleton trimmer, whatever they're called. Everybody's skeleton nowadays, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, we're using that to kind of just clean up the C cup. I don't want, because of like the cut, the way the cut is, he's got like a pompadour and everything like that. I don't want to be too crazy sharp when it comes to the lineup. I kind of want to leave it like as natural as possible, so it can grow back a little, you know, nicer. I don't want to get it too sharp, if that makes sense. Maybe not. And here we're going on the back of the neck. We're gonna line that up. This is like, I love this part because it makes the taper pop out so much. And we're just gonna work around the ear. I love how when you put the lineup on the taper, it makes the taper pop out so much. That's why you see me dip the taper on the side and make it like a little darker toward the side and like lighter in the middle. So that way when I hit it with a line, it makes the taper really pop out. So That's just stuff you can just kind of be conscious of as you're cutting. But it's stuff that like will grow as your barber's eye develops, you know. Right here, I'm lining him up in the front, very natural lineup. I'm just kind of getting the hairs that are sticking over. I don't want to cut too much, but as you can see, man, that hair in the front is sitting up very nicely. Like, the shape that we created is exactly the shape that we wanted. The triangular from the side, square from the front, a little bit more weight in the back because his head is so flat. Like, this, I mean, that's not a diss or a roast or anything like that, but it's just the truth. You see that kind of square shape we created in the front being the longest point. Look how it's styled, like, nicely. That's what we were going for in the beginning. So here is the before. Oh my goodness, client talking about, can I get a hug? You know what I mean? But now here's the after. Let's go. Look at the shape, man. Look at that. I like it. My client liked it too. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can get notified anytime we drop new content on this channel. I hope y'all are learning something. I hope y'all are picking up some value from this, man. Peace.